Hello and welcome to another installment of Run Jasmine Run video blog. Trying my best to get better at this, so bear with me. I also am being a little lazy today. I didn't feel like typing, so I decided let's give this whole vlogging thing another try. So here I am, going to tell you about my last 5K here in Florida. Not ever, but just, I guess, for this year, since we're moving up to Indiana. I am really sad to say. So this past weekend, on Valentine's Day, which is Saturday, Mark and myself did the Track Shack run around the Pines. I feel really bad that I don't remember the title of this race. And I am really just on cloud nine because I actually finally, after a year of training, went sub 21 and I'm getting closer to my long-term goal of reaching a 19 flat before I'm 30. That was my goal that I set for myself at the beginning of the year, and I gave myself enough time because I also thought about, okay, I might want to do another 50 miler. I might, training for Boston right now to Boston qualify. So hopefully I will reach 19 flat before I'm 30. Anyway, it was really cold on Valentine's Day. I just want to throw that out there. So I had like everything against me for this last 5K. After Ragnar, my body completely shut down. The last Wednesday, I came home from hanging out with my mom, and my body was just like, middle finger, Jasmine, gonna shut down right now. And that happened. I got really sick, and I was fighting off this weird head cold for like days, and I still was fighting it off on Saturday. And when I woke up, I just said to myself, like, just stay positive, just keep your goals in mind. And it was tough. I mean, no one wants to run a 5K sick, and especially if you don't like 5Ks in general, no one wants to run a 5K not in good health. So I had that going against me, and I was just like, the only other run I've done last week was my speed work, and just very fearful. Like, I was trying to remain positive in my head, but in my heart I was just like very fearful about that 5K and getting to that sub 21. It wasn't easy towards the end, but I'll tell you one thing, fighting to get past that 21 has been the most profound experience for this year. I never thought that I would see the pace that I did on my watch. I never thought that, I would actually dig as deep as I did at that finish, where I actually passed up quite a few people, like, towards the finish, and I was pretty shocked. Not gonna lie, I chicked some of those guys, so sorry guys. But I just have like a few things that I wanted to share in this video blog from that race, so that way maybe I could look back at this video and remind myself, the humble beginnings that I came from, and just other people who are maybe struggling with trying to go sub 21, or maybe you're trying to go sub 22. Just some things that mentally helped me out going through that process during that race. One, I don't constantly look at your watch, and this is advice given to me by a fellow road killer lady, coach, Diane, she told me at the PSP relay race that I did in January that she noticed I was looking at my watch a lot and my Garmin, and she goes, "Does that stress you out?" And I go, "Yes, I actually really stress myself out, and it only happens in 5Ks. I keep looking at my Garmin and freaking out because I'm not on pace or I'm not doing the time I'm supposed to do." So try not to look at your watch as often, as possible, I guess. I don't know. Just don't look at it that much. Or I guess her advice that she gave me was use a stopwatch or something like that. But I don't have one, and when I take my Garmin, I always set it, for the distance and the pace. I really should be using that, but that's another story. 2, don't get involved with the people next to you if you're focusing on your goal. In a lot of 5K races, I get a lot of people looking at me, and then they run and they surge up, and then they fall back, and then they look at me again, and I notice that around me. Like, people think I don't notice them, but I do, because it's really easy to see somebody, in your profile, like going whoop, 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 whoop. It's kind of distracting while you're running your own race. Yeah, so just run your own race. Like, that was the biggest thing going into that 5K. I was like, you know what? I am not going to even care about who's who, who's the fastest people here in Florida. Kiss my booty. This is my race, okay? I have trained for this. I have the splits in my head. I'm going for it. I don't care. Y'all can pass me up and, go haha, whatever. That was probably the biggest, motivator. I didn't have to think about anybody else. I knew what I had to do in order to get to what I wanted to do for my goal. So stick to your goal. If someone's doing, back and forth surge right here and distracting you, just focus in front of you. Just pretend like you have tunnel vision. You can't see that person, because that's honestly the best thing I did. I just kind of zoomed in and was like, no, talk to the hand. I'm in my zone. You ain't coming in. So, and then the third one is, at the end, give it all you got. And words cannot describe how much pain that ending felt. Like, I looked at the clock, I saw, it was in the 20s, I think 2030, something like that, at like mile 3, and I just try to run as fast as I can for that point 10, or I got point 13 on my watch, and it hurt. I couldn't see anything but that big giant clock at the finish, and I was like, no, I do not want to see 21 and some change. It's not going to happen. So just give it all you got. And I really dig deep. I really try to psych myself out in my head, because that point 10, I looked at my pace and I was doing I think it's 5:30 some, and it hurt. It hurts so bad. I don't ever, even in speed work, ever see that pace. So just give it all you got, and, can happen. So this is my little recap on my race. It's not fancy. I'm probably, kind of talking blah, 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 because I have so much on my mind right now outside of this video blog. But I just wanted to share those things because, I like sharing my experiences with others. Maybe people out there are trying to go sub 30, or, they're trying to get to, I know, at least for me, as a female runner, getting from 22 to 21 was really hard, and getting from 21 to 20 was really hard. So just remember those 3 things. That could help you out in your next 5K. Awesome. Well, that's it for me. That was my race recap from my last 5K here in Florida. Hope you guys have a wonderful week, and just look out for some more posts on my Facebook page and Instagram. Alright, bye guys.